All right, I initially shot a video of this, and for whatever reason, my phone decided to not record the whole thing, so we're trying it again. So this is just a very simple, very much grindhouse video filmed from inside a hotel room. So again, quality's gonna be terrible. Apologize for that. But going forward, was building a new set, just keeping it vanilla as right now, and was going through up to this point where I got the bottom wing done and noticed that there was something kind of funny with the way that the wing interacted with the fuselage. So the way that they had you build this is that you basically use these Technic pin pieces with the Technic hole in it, which could adhere to the top of the wing. And you run the 6L or 6.5L bar, whichever of the two, I don't remember. You shove this through, and basically there's going to be a bit of the bar that sticks out at the back. So that actual piece of the bar is what's going to be the piece that's going to interact with, hold up, yeah, it's going to interact with these clip pieces here, which brings up something kind of funny. I'm looking at this now, and I don't know why they overcomplicated this bottom build. Like, this just seems like a waste of parts and time to do this when no one sees this and it's not a detail-oriented piece, while meanwhile the model suffers in some areas that they could have done stuff with. But regardless, whatnot, I'm going to fix or try to fix that, because that directly corresponds to the cockpit, which they're making your figure sit on a bracket plate, which means his legs will come off, because you know how that works. But regardless, back to this thing. So the bar piece would sit there, and that's what's going to clip onto this. Well, once I got the whole thing built for the bottom, I was messing around with the wing and noticed that when you swing it down here, it doesn't necessarily like make a pop or a click noise, and it actually kind of sagged a bit. It wasn't sitting perfectly like down flat. Give me a second. It was kind of like this. And I was like, well, that's really unfortunate, and that's not acceptable. So I'm like, well, what's going on with that? So I had to like disassemble the bottom plates here, because the way I wanted to see what was going on was I figured, okay, I'll see if I can look through the Technic holes of the lift arm piece here, see if I can see what's going on back there. And lo and behold, when I did that, I've already modified it here, so just stay with me. I saw the bar piece like that interacting with the clip a bit. And what I noticed was that the bar piece here has enough, I guess, length sticking out that when it interacts with the clip, it flexes. So it's not necessarily like held in place strong enough to where it's going to pop and be stable for that connection to happen. Now it holds the bottom wing fine, but this is also a heavy build construction. It's like not light when you really think about how like this is moving around. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens if I take this sub-assembly here and I move that back to here. But in my head, I'm like, well, wait a minute. The way that they have this the stud connection built forward, you know, well, there's not a lot of real estate in here working with where the clip is. So I figured, okay, let me flip this one around when I put it here and run the bar piece. So what that looks like is like this. So you can see that, you know, we've got the stud connector there, the stud connector there, and the bar like this. Now with the bar like that, it's held in here. Now, does the bar run the entire gamut all the way through? I don't know. You know, I don't know if the earlier bar piece or the stopper was more forward, if you shove that in. Regardless, though, here's where it's at, and this is where I'm pretty happy. It's upside down, looks awful. All right. If I can articulate it, actually. Well, if you heard the snap, it's locked in. It's still a bit, I mean, there's a little bit of shake and wobble. You're going to have that, but it's perfectly like level. There's no sag. There's no, you know, potential of it to pop open. It's a little bit tougher to open now, but if you hear this, there's a click, which is great. you look at how this is built, and I was like thoroughly blown away with how they built this, because I was like, oh, that's pretty impressive. As I was building the bottom wing, I was like, that's great, because when this thing locks back here, you know, it snaps. And then what's cool is because you look at the 3x6, let me do the more acceptable side to look at. You got the 3x6 wedge plate, which mates up pretty good with this 4x1 slope, because I believe it's a very similar angle on those parts, and so that just looks excellent. Really, a lot of this build is very good for a set out of the box. It's just that I was surprised that as it comes out of a box, that connection point, which is pretty pivotal to this, was subpar. However, I think I know why they probably did it that way. It's because looking at this, where I have moved it back here with the stud facing out, it is close enough that it is rubbing this. And I think that, you know, that rubs the company the wrong way. Apologies for the pun, but, you know, they're like, oh, I don't want a piece to break, or I don't want this to happen. I don't care. I mean, I'm sorry, but these are like, what, 1x2 clip plates? I mean, those can't be more than like 4 cents or whatnot. Regardless, I can now switchblade the ship, which couldn't do before, and so that's pretty awesome. And, you know, there's been a lot of people on the server who have done some pretty impressive stuff already. Forgetting the one gentleman's name who did the S-foil mechanism, that I've already got his instructions and have been modifying that a little bit. Awesome. Want to do that to this. Also, somebody else I've already seen in the last couple of days have done a mirrored wing build, which want to do that. And he also has landing gear in his, which is nuts. So I don't know if I can combine all these different people's ideas into something, but I just wanted to give a go at the vanilla build as it stood. And like, again, this isn't with any extra pieces. This was just moving over what was already there. And the part, this one, I believe from the instructions back in the book, it's 6321303. And honestly, I might get even more of them, because if I put another one in there and build it exactly as this, but just, again, take another one and put it backwards with the pin, I mean, that's even more reinforcement to that part. And there's a lot of interesting things to me with the way that the company does builds now. It's kind of infuriating. I'm a stickler for stuff, so I apologize if I'm being weird, but let me find it. I mean, nope. But like, for instance, look how overly complicated this is. I don't understand, again, why we're doing this, because this feels like we're just eating up more pieces, when I believe that there's a 1x2 with a clip that can fit there. I may be mistaken on that. I'm going to look into it, but like, we're just putting way too many pieces for something that, again, sits on the belly in the bottom, but no one looks at, because the bottom of the model is kind of ugly. But even in the build, I mean, we're looking at, where is it? Oh man, we're getting into the high budget production of this video. People are gonna absolutely love this. I wasn't even intending to talk about that. Oh, did I skip it? I may have skipped it. No, I didn't. No. I will find it, and you will see what I'm talking about, because it is redonkulous. Okay, I'm losing my audience very quickly, and I have found it, question mark. I am close to it because it's in, yes, okay, dumb, me. Okay, so again, we have 3-pin here. We have this, which is new to me. I may be old man syndrome, but that's pretty impressive. So we connect it, and then the pin just sits there. And I'm like, why? Why is there not another part for it to click into? Like, I don't like that. And then, like, they're like, oh, okay, ignore it. Yep, put plates over stuff. Okay, build your wing. Yep, build your wing. Okay, yep. Oh, what's that? The pin is still visible. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And then they're just like, they just cover it up. And I'm like, it feels sloppy. I don't know. There's some interesting things with that. But overall, really great model so far. People have their concerns and issues with it, but yabba dabba diba, whatever. It's cool. And again, I hope maybe some people will be maybe happy that I found this out. Maybe I'm not the only one who did. Probably not. I'm not a genius, but it just gives it a little bit more secure punch and click, and now there's no saggy issue and it looks right. And so, you know, if you don't want to modify it too crazy, I mean, you just use what's already there. So again, hope it helps. Sorry for the grindhouse level video again in a hotel room. It is what it is. And it's like, yes, my title card was literally a piece of paper. But bizarre that I found this. I never usually find anything too early, so that was pretty cool. And I guess not really that early. It's like, what, a day or two until the release of this. But regardless, hope it helps anybody out there. And we'll see what else I can do. And hopefully my budget in video production goes up. Or maybe not. Maybe I will just keep doing the hilarious things. Hopefully not from a hotel room, though. So we will see in the near future where that goes. Anyway, hope you all have a good one. And you keep it click. Oh, I was going to do something cool, but we're not going to do it. Well, maybe. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. I've turned the V-19 Torrent into some type of abhorrent handgun. Well, what's the worst I can do with this? Well, shoot myself, apparently. Good night, everyone.